For most of us here in Australia, just seeing the images coming out of Israel this week has been harrowing. Imagine then going house to house and having to collect the bodies of those murdered by Hamas. My next guest, an artist, has been doing just that. Tomer Peretz. Tomer, thank you so much for joining me. You wrote on your social media this week, "Welcome to your worst nightmare." What is your worst nightmare?
That was exactly what I've been doing and seeing in the past few days. All those body collecting situation.
You are volunteering to pick up the bodies of slaughtered Israeli men, women, children, babies, the elderly. It's unimaginable. What are you seeing when you arrive at these scenes?
Wow. My first, the first look at Kibbutz Be'eri was a whole chaos. A bunch of dead bodies, bunch of bags. I was with a crew who picked up some actual bodies from inside the houses. Some of the bodies were super heavy. Some of the bodies were super light and small. When we walked through the houses, we saw lots of parts that was kind of hard to recognize, like what is it? Burnt, because some of the houses were burned. That burned them. I don't know if alive or dead, but yeah, all ages.
You found the body of a baby that was, I can't even say it, just a few months old.
I think in the first few seconds, I didn't really realize what I'm holding. And I was like, what is it? Like, is it a body part of someone, or is it a dog? He didn't answer when he put it on the floor. A few seconds later, he's like, let me show you what else we found. And then he showed me other small bags and where they pick it up from. Insane.
You also discovered the body of a woman. How many times had she been stabbed?
I didn't count, but from a first look, it was a lot. It was a lot. She was laying on a bed. A lot. I didn't look on one body more than a second and a half. It was always like hiding the eyes, and we're using those masks for the smell. The smell is bad. It's bad. It's really bad, and you smell it as soon as you go into the actual kibbutz, like from all over. So it's not that you're looking at the body and looking for stuff. It's not what I did. I had a hard time looking at this.
How does your heart feel right now? And I know that sounds like a really strange question, but can you describe what you feel in your heart?
I think I'm still inside a bubble. I'm in some kind of a fighting mode. I'm very confused. I didn't plan that. I don't collect bodies. Like, it's not my job. I don't do those stuff. I hang out with people who do that every day for over 20 years. Even they say they never saw anything like that. They cried, like, literally, and they do that every day. So I have no idea how I feel.
Before I let you go, what do you want the world to know about what has happened to your people and what's going to happen from now on?
These barbarian action will come to every person. This is not, will stop here. It's not going to stop here unless we're going to stop it. They killed kids, next to their parents, and the parents next to their kids. They burned them. They burned the bodies. They threw grenades and RPGs. They shot RPGs on people inside the houses, and they cut people parts. We know that. We saw parts. We saw little bags, that got picked up, and it's there.
Thank you so much. I'm so sorry for what you're going through, and I promise we'll continue to support you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.